Wondering how the real estate market's going to be affected by the coronavirus? Maybe you're wondering, is it a good time to buy a house right now? Should I hurry and sell sooner rather than later? These are the questions that we are going to be tackling today, and we are starting right now. I'm Jessica Genung, and I'm a realtor here in the Murrieta, Temecula Valley. Thanks so much for checking out my channel. If you want to keep up to date on the local real estate market, go ahead and smash that subscribe button and hit that bell icon also so you can be notified when I post a new video, which is every single week. I am going to cover a lot of ground in this video. I'm going to talk about the effects of the coronavirus on my business personally. I'm going to tell you what other realtors surveyed on the issue had to say, and I'm going to discuss how we can guard our minds and make sure that who and what we're listening to isn't making a bad situation worse. On March 9th and 10th, the National Association of Realtors conducted a flash survey of members on the impact of the coronavirus in their market. This survey was conducted after the initial interest rate drop and after the stock market's approximate 20% drop. The survey was about a week ago, and things are rapidly changing already. The survey report, it looks at the effects on these three areas: mortgage rates, buyer interest, and seller behavior. I will emphasize the March 9th and 10th dates of the survey because this was before the schools closed here in Murrieta, Temecula, and Riverside County. The survey was before the panic runs on the grocery store. As we know now, the coronavirus, it has come to the U.S. and it's hit close to home with all the cancellations of school and public gatherings like church and sporting events. Let's take a look at the first slide, mortgage rate change. The majority of sellers have decided not to make a change in their home listing. However, in California, 12% of members cited the number of sellers has increased because they can take advantage of lower interest rates upon moving and the purchase of their new home. Let's look at the next slide on mortgage rate change. Half of members said there was no notable change in client behavior regarding the stock market and mortgage rate change. More than 1/3 of members said clients are excited by lower mortgage rates more than they're concerned over the stock market correction. 13% said the stock market correction significantly damaged confidence and lower rates do not offset this. Moving on to buyer interest. The majority of members reported there has been no change in buyer interest due to the coronavirus. In California, 21% of members said that there's been a decrease in interest. That is the 16% and 5% in yellow and red on the left side of the bar chart. In my business, I am still seeing normal buyer interest, but I did have a conversation with one of my buyers that's currently in escrow and set to close on a home in April, and he said that he might possibly want to ask for an extension to see how things go with the crisis. He says that he's not quite at that point yet, but he would like a little bit of flexibility, a little bit of time to feel out how serious the effects of the virus are going to be. Folks are concerned and fearful right now, and when that happens, they do not want to make big decisions until they have more clarity. It seems like this virus is not going to go away 100% anytime soon, so I know that I am praying for quick control of the spreading of the virus and quick recovery for those infected. For myself, for many years now, I have tried to limit my daily intake of the news. We need to be informed, but my decision to limit my intake of the daily news has helped keep me in a more positive mindset where I can focus on the things around me that I feel that I have control over. So with that being said, I want to encourage people to not get sucked into the hysteria and the drama, which can lead to more fear and anxiety and irrational behavior. A great way to stay informed about the status of the coronavirus, instead of watching the speculation and the drama play out on the news, is to check out this link right here, which I'm also going to put down below in the description. This website has tons of stats on the infections, deaths, and very importantly, the recoveries. It breaks it down by country and each state in the US. Getting back to the survey and moving on to seller behavior. The majority of members reported there has been no change in seller interest due to the coronavirus. In California, 14% of members reported a decrease in interest. That's the 12% and 2% in yellow and red on the left side of the bar chart. Here's another slide on seller behavior. Most members reported there was no change in sellers removing homes from the market due to the coronavirus. In California, only 4% of members reported that homes were removed from the market. In my business, one of my sellers that were listing their home in about 2 weeks contacted us asking if we should move up their listing date due to the coronavirus. In their individual situation, we advised them to stick with the original plan. So that got me wondering if this crisis is actually going to energize more sellers that have been waiting or are on the fence to put their property on the market so they can try and lock in the gains that they have accrued over the last few years. If the result in our market was that more sellers decided to sell, I think that would be a very positive thing. We have currently been in an extreme seller's market with multiple offers everywhere, and I would love to see a little bit more balance. I think that that would be healthy. Of course, we still need steady buyer demand to achieve that balance. Let's briefly talk about interest rates. You may have heard the Fed just took the most dramatic steps since the 2008 financial crisis to bolster the U.S. economy by lowering interest rates to zero as part of a wide-ranging emergency intervention. They also said they're going to buy at least $700 billion in government and mortgage-related bonds. In addition to the rate cuts, the Fed announced it's restarting its bond purchasing program known as quantitative easing. I haven't heard that phrase in a while. The Fed Chair Jerome Powell said they anticipate a significant effect on the U.S. economy in the coming months, including negative growth in the second quarter. The goal being to help the economy weather this difficult period and foster a vigorous return to normal once the disruptions from the coronavirus abate. Back to seller behavior and our last slide in the survey. A portion of sellers are changing how their home is viewed while the home remains on the home selling market. About a quarter of home sellers nationwide have made changes, including stopping open houses, requiring buyer hand washing or hand sanitizer to be used, and asking buyers to remove shoes or wear footies. In California, 34% of sellers have adopted these or other changes. In my business currently, sellers are still wanting to accommodate showings and still have open houses. We are working with the seller's requests and taking precautions to keep everyone safe, such as the changes discussed in the survey. We are asking guests to remove their shoes or wear booties, use hand sanitizer upon entering, and we're wiping off doorknobs and surfaces before and after the open houses. If sellers are not comfortable with open houses, we are 100% support their decision to show or not show their home currently. Our office is also taking precautionary measures. Our office is closing this week and office staff have been asked to work remotely. They've also advised us to make as many of our appointments as possible virtual. This is easy for us to do as we do a lot of virtual touring with out-of-state clients already, and we are happy to show buyers properties via FaceTime or whatever they're comfortable using. Listing appointments can also be done virtually, and we are being advised to do that. With that being said, we are currently still holding in-person open houses as well and doing in-person showings. We're just trying to be cautious and smart about it and stay educated on the situation. It certainly is not business as usual, and we're having to make adjustments. I hope this info in the video gives you some insight about how the coronavirus is affecting the real estate market and the impacts on our business personally. Let me know what you think down below in the comments, and thank you as always for watching my video. Till next time, bye.